Hi folks, we are in the Cessna 182 Skylane today and sitting right now at Bremerton National here in Washington, the Pacific Northwest, and we are getting ready to head down to Bowerman, which is a pretty well-known Orbix scenery. I'm in the A2A 182 Skylane as mentioned, and I think we're pretty well configured and ready to go. Given my clearance over Unicom, we will depart VFR to the southwest and climb to 4,500. Just flew up here with another group of Cessnas. That was kind of fun, but they're not going to be making the trip back. They've got some other things to do, so we're going to head back on our own. It's been quite a bit of time out here in the Pacific Northwest lately, but not much of it's in the Skylane, so it's kind of good to get back in and reacquaint myself with this airplane. Just recently added the new update, which gives the new rain effects, and they're pretty cool. They look good. Bit this morning, tried to search for some rain showers. Actually went over to Germany and flew a few Orbix airports over there, and I've seen some of the videos that show the effects, and man, I tell you what, like I say, it's pretty realistic. Just about every time you think this game can't get any more real looking, then one of these developers does something and makes it just that much more realistic. So great job, A2A, keep it up. Climbing out about 500 or so feet per minute. Probably just hand fly for most of the way here. If we get to a spot that we want to look around a little bit, we can. We're on autopilot and take the camera outside, but for now I just think we'll fly manually and just enjoy this airplane. It's about a 50-mile, a little bit more now. We've got about 54 to go, so a fairly quick trip. We'll probably just stay here the whole time, do a full flight, since the weather's nice and the scenery, of course, around here is tremendous. I do have the Pacific Northwest add-on from Orbix, which makes it even that much better. But you can see really awesome scenery around here. Not a lot of ATC going on today. It's a Saturday afternoon. Most of the action right now is down kind of in the southeastern part of the country. I think there's an event going on in Orlando, and then I know there's one going on later on at DCA. We may hop over there. It's been a while since we've been in 737, so might be a good reason for us to go that way. And west coast. We've got Seattle Tower, but we won't be interacting with them at all. Usually when we fly the Skylane, we're in 516 Delta Mike, but actually was somebody who had that call sign already today. Someone actually that was in our group. And so we're in 82 Gulf today, which, you know, can't complain. Another beautiful aircraft. And it's kind of cool. I'm closing in on 100 hours in the Skylane, which, you know, is not a lot of time, but it's pretty cool that I've been able to get even that much experience in it. Definitely is a great plane to fly. You learn a lot. Makes you better really in every aircraft that you fly. It's helped my landings a bunch. Looks like we have a little bit of rolling fog here, so kind of have a little patch in between that we will shoot for. We may not be able to get all the way up to 4,500. Never know around here. Yeah, it's getting a little bit hazy. I'm gonna try to level off here at 4,000. Traffic out here. Similar to the ATC, most everybody is in their jet and flying to Orlando right now. Yeah, we broke through that okay, so that'll be alright. Bit of flight chop. Flight up here to Bremerton was really nice. It's light winds. Even now, 4,000 feet, our winds are 020 at 3 knots is also. Can't complain about that at all. Get too much higher, they get up to 14 knots or so at 6,000 feet. So today might be beneficial to be low and slow. Leave the mixture out just a little bit and trying to work on that kind of stuff just to be a little easier on the engine, a little more efficient on the fuel. Of course, I'm not a real pilot. It's pretty easy to tell, but those are the kinds of things that interest me just as a simmer. You know, all those little things that as a pilot in real life you would have to manage and take into account. You know, it's more than just hopping in and pointing the nose to the airport. Lots that goes into making a safe flight, and monitoring your engine is definitely one of those things. keeping everything in the green. And then of course if you're paying for maintenance, you're paying for all that stuff, you want to be as kind to your aircraft as you can. So yeah, it's nice to get there quickly, but if that takes some of the life off of your engine, ultimately you're going to be paying for that. So those are the things that, like I said, that I like to learn about, read about, and listen to real pilots talk about, and then you can bring that into your sim experience, and it just makes everything that much more immersive and real feeling. Then you add to it things like the rain effects and all the different things that A2A does with their aircraft, and Orbix scenery, and you get a pretty realistic experience. I think we all can remember kind of the early days of flight sim software, and it had a very arcade type feel to it. And this has really come a long way, in terms of just the overall quality and the overall community, and just to have air traffic control, which again we haven't had a lot on our videos so far, but it's definitely a part that adds to the realism. Weather as we fly into the haze, that adds to it as well. Now we have a little bit of a decision to make. Do we punch through? We have another cloud right ahead of us, probably not going to be over the top of, so maybe we need to kind of trim and power down a little bit, try to stay underneath it. Probably getting right at the edge of that 3 miles of visibility here. Descend down to about 3,500 and see if that does anything for our visibility here. 36 miles to go. Not exactly 100% right on the line here, but not meandering too far here or there. One of the things that's fun about this part of the country with all of the Orbix attention to detail is a lot of times when I'm flying around, I will notice that there's an airfield that's more or less on the way, and so I'll just deviate a little bit from my flight plan and go check it out. And I found just a lot of really neat kind of hidden gems, I guess, that are not, they're just default airports, but they look fantastic, and kind of added those to a little list that I've got. I'm compiling, and maybe at some point we'll do some videos around those airports. But this trip was an example. When we flew out from Bowerman, we didn't just head straight to Bremerton. We actually headed directly east and flew over the Olympia airport, which I'd never really flown over that before, so that was pretty cool. And it's definitely a nice default, I don't know if it's a regional or a municipal airport, but it's a pretty cool one. Definitely one that is nice to know about, just in case you'd like to plan some flights around there, or you need to maybe use it as an alternate airport or something. But anyway, like I said, I found lots and lots, not only just like municipal airports like that, but a lot of grass and gravel strips, cut out of farmers' fields, and then plenty of seaports, aerodromes, and things like that. There's so much water up here that it's pretty natural that you have a lot of those seaports. We've had to go down a little further than I would have kind of thought originally. We're down now under 3,000 feet. You can hear my dog upstairs. He's still quite concerned about things. And it's just getting a little thicker, so you know, we're going to continue to head down. As I look at our map here, I think we're over most of the higher elevation. So I think we're okay to go down here, even down maybe another 1,000 feet or so would be still plenty clear. Not too bad a shape right here. I mean, it's hazy, but I would say we're still well within the 3 miles or past the 3 miles of visibility. Maybe not well past, but I would say that's past a little ways. Go ahead, add some power back in, and fly here at about 2,200 or so. Out here on the coast, so I think they must pick up quite a lot of that marine layer fog. And we're getting a little bit closer, 27 miles to go now. Bowerman winds are 050 at 8. Fahrenheit and an altimeter of 3029. Let's see how close we are here. Well, we can adjust that a little bit. And just looking outside, you know, it just looks like if we stay down here, probably catch that haze, but should be okay for the most part. Looks like there's some hills up there that we might have to think a little bit about in terms of our line of approach. I don't know if this one we're heading directly at is something to be concerned about here at 2,700. Looking at my map, I see a few things here, but they all appear to be below 2,000. Just see when we get a little closer. Looks like the runway of choice into Bowerman today will be runway 6. So we would probably enter right downwind. Turn back a little to the northeast and land on runway 6. Maybe some rain going on right up here in front of us. was another kind of a cool morning. I went ahead and I've slowly been uploading all of the freeware things that Orbix offers. You know, and they have a bunch of airports. They have some seaports, and they have some larger kind of land mesh sections, and they have a few things that you can demo. And this morning I finally was able to get everything installed. I've been doing it just kind of a little bit at a time. I've got a little bit of an older computer, and so, you know, I was concerned that I may not be able to handle all of the scenery in addition to, you know, the other add-ons that I have, the different aircraft and the weather. So I was just kind of taking it slow and seeing how, you know, how my computer handled it, and little by little, you know, everyone's run really well so far. The frame rates have been, you know, they've been okay, good enough to make a video or two out of it, which is, it's kind of fun to sort of document the different places that you've flown. And so anyway, like I said, it was kind of cool because this morning I was able to get all of the rest of the sceneries installed, and I'm looking forward to jumping over to Europe. I mentioned earlier that I'd flown a couple of those in northern Germany today, so I'm looking forward to getting over into Europe, and there's also a bunch that are available in Australia. Looking forward to those. Some down in South America. So, you know, it's going to be a fun 2019. I intend to try to fly through those areas and get to know those parts of the world, at least virtually, because I don't know about you, but I don't have a lot of time to travel, and I actually have never been outside of the U.S., and so just even to kind of see what some of those other parts of the world look like is pretty cool. I don't have a lot of the payware stuff, but that's sort of one of the appeals, at least for me, about Orbix, is that they let you demo some stuff, and then they give you some airports that are free, and you can kind of try them out, see if you like them, and then if you do, then that helps you kind of know if maybe making those some of those larger purchases for, like, you know, True Earth, Great Britain, you know, if it's worth the money. And I think that's pretty cool. I don't know a lot of software companies that do that, at least in the flight simming world. Alright, well, enough chit chat. Here we are. More haze and fog and weather, and getting closer and closer now, 14 miles out. And the direction that I'm coming probably makes more sense for me to enter left downwind and left traffic pattern, so I think that's what I'll do. There's an ILS approach actually to this particular airport, but it's for runway 24. Go ahead and dial in that localizer frequency though. west, I should be at 2,500 or 4,500 really, but no traffic and no ATC out here, so you just kind of maintain VFR at or below your filed altitude, which for us was 4,500, and you should be fine. Harbor. I don't know this area very well, but it's an indication that we're getting closer. GPS says 8 miles. And may have some lights out there, possibly. Could be where we're heading. That's definitely the airfield, so we are going to start to get ourselves into the traffic pattern here. Just off to our 11 o'clock. Fly out over the water a little bit and make a left base. And that's just amazing. Sorry about that. Checking on something on the other screen and clicked the wrong thing. Taking a look over there, Bowerman also has that seaport, which is pretty cool. Probably have to take the Milbiz Beaver in there at some point in time. Alright, maybe it's just a little bit high here. I really need to practice my basic traffic pattern. I'm just awful at it. And you're about to find out exactly what I'm talking about here. You know, you can can watch Jason Shepard do it 100 times, but at the end of the day, you've got to go out and practice and get better at it. And that's just, you know, what I need to do. And, you know, 100 hours seems like a lot of hours, but in the world of aviation, that's really nothing. You're just scratching the surface with an aircraft. If that was 100 hours of me just flying patterns, you know, that'd be a different story. But most of the time I'm flying, I'm not doing pattern work. Okay. We're getting pretty close to where we need to make our turn to base. This mist layer is not helping any. See if we can pick up the localizer from the other direction, basically, but it works the same. It'll be a short final, so I better get my altitude right, and I better judge my turn properly. Winds are still about the same, 050 at 8. 3029 is my altimeter. It hasn't changed. $1,700 and descending. Poppy lights tell me I'm a little too high, but I would rather be too high than too low, especially with the water. Track IR. Okay, turn to base. Yeah, a little soon. There comes the localizer. Yeah, we're going to be a little bit high here, but we won't be too far from where we're supposed to be. That's why they pave all the way down the runway, right? Feeling like I'm getting a little crosswind here. I mean, it shouldn't be too much. These are supposed to be 050, so I expect a little bit of that, but not what I'm getting here. But it might just be that I'm off center line too. Alright, down we come. Bowerman Field. Really neat little airport here. Let's see if we can land halfway decent. Oh, birds. Hello. Losing my center line a little bit. Oh, a little bit too much flare there. Ugh. Well, we're down. good right till the very end, and then I just kind of let it get away from me a little bit, but that's okay. Welcome to Bowerman Field. Pull off here to the side, hop out and give you some drone footage. Yeah, birds, I hear you. I just about met one of you on approach there. That would have been good. Is maybe one thing. I mean, it's nitpicky, but as far as realism goes, you know, you're really not going to be hearing the birds chirp and all that stuff while you're in the cockpit with the motor running and your earphones on. But you know, that's a small thing. Head over here a little ways. I don't know exactly where we'll park. It's kind of down here at this end of the airfield. Somebody's got their fireplace going. We'll pull right in here and yeah. See ya. Sure. Saying hello to my wife. Okay, we are down. Shut down here real quick. And let's hop out, like I say. We'll take a look around here, give you a feel for what this scenery package offers. And again, can't beat the price. So here we go. Fire up the drone and take a look around. I guess I probably could have went down there a little bit for some GA parking. But, you know, as usual, you get not only the airport, but you get lots of details around the airfield. There's the, maybe that isn't a seaport, just kind of a place for cruise ships and stuff, tankers to come in. Guess I don't see any airplanes over there. I don't think you'd probably land in there. Maybe you could if you had better skills than me. But again, there's the airfield. And you know, the thing I like about these, again, like I mentioned before, I don't have the most powerful computer in the world, and so I can get these things installed. Each one of these airports takes about 5 minutes to download and install, and then, you know, like I mentioned, they run and don't really impact. I don't have a frames counter going right now, but you know, they really don't impact the performance of my computer that much. I don't notice it when I'm flying for sure, and you know, even when I'm recording, I don't really notice it a whole lot. So if you're on the fence about, you know, downloading some of these freeware airports, I think you give it a try. And whether that's an Orbix airport or whatever, I know there's lots of them out there. I think you give it a try. You maybe try with one or two and kind of see how your computer handles it, and then just expand from there. That's basically what I've done, and that's part of why I'm making these videos, is just to see what my computer can actually handle. I'm sure not doing it as an instructional video. But yeah, there you have it. Bowerman Field here in the beautiful Pacific Northwest. Got a little sailboat out there. All kinds of good stuff. So, hey, thanks for flying along. Appreciate it. And we'll see you on the next flight.